recording whenever you're ready.
Whenever they're ready to let you go too.
What would you do with $147 billion? What could the government do with $147 billion? This may seem like a really high amount, but actually this is the amount of money spent on healthcare costs related to obesity in the United States in 2008, according to a study from the CDC and Health Affairs by Eric Finkelstein, published in 2009. According to this chart from the CDC, you can see that being overweight is defined as having a BMI of 25 to 29.9, and being obese is having a BMI of 30 or more. On your handout, you can go ahead and calculate your own BMI anytime you want. I put that on there with this chart as well. However, BMI does not take into account muscle mass, which obviously you can see from this picture makes a difference. So you can also calculate your waist to hip ratio to determine your risk. Like this table from lifetimeweightloss.com. Being overweight or obese is obviously an issue that is continually affecting our age group and will continue to affect us if we choose to ignore it. But there are some easy steps you can take to lead a healthier lifestyle. Today I'm just going to talk to you about how bad health habits now are increasing obesity rates of college-age students. Then I'm going to talk about how becoming overweight or obese in college can affect your adult life for the rest of your life. And finally, I'm going to show you what steps you can take to lead a healthier life and fight this epidemic. So first we need to talk about the rising rates of obesity and how it's affecting our age group in particular. Not only are rates of obesity rising in the US, but they are rising for rates of college-age students as well. Dr. Desai from the Journal of American College Health says in her study about obesity in college students from 2008 that the percentage of adults who were overweight or obese went from 47% to 66% just between 1976 and 2004. You can also see the rising rates in this table from the National Health and Nutrition Survey from 2010 from the CDC and NCHS that shows that over 78 million adults were obese in 2009 to 2010. That's 35.7%. I also found this in an article from 2012 by Libby Sanders from the Chronicle of Higher Education, where she talks about how 1/3 of college students are now overweight or obese according to the BMI scale. That means that 42,081 students that are enrolled in IU this semester, that equals out to 14,027 students on our campus right now that are considered overweight or obese, which is pretty shocking. But not only are the rates of obesity rising, so are the number of health problems that we can incur after college. You can see from this table from a 2011 study by Jay Zagorski about the Freshman 15 in Social Science Quarterly that throughout college, women can gain up to a total of 57 pounds and men 63.9 pounds. All this extra weight can obviously lead to a lot of physical diseases. Daniel Callahan mentioned some of these top health risks of being overweight or obese in his article about obesity from the Hastings Report in 2012, including bone and joint problems, heart disease, cardiovascular disease, cancer, gallstones, liver problems, diabetes, and high blood pressure, just to name a few. Obesity can also lead to mental health disorders as well, which Hong-Yan Lin and her team found in their study about psychiatric disorders in obesity patients from BMC Psychiatry in 2013. Their results concluded that of the 841 patients they studied, 42% had at least one psychiatric disorder. Mood disorders, anxiety disorders, and eating disorders were the most prevalent of these. So if this is affecting our physical health and our mental health, this is obviously a very serious issue. We obviously can all see that obesity in college can be a serious issue for now and for the future. So what can we do about it? People aren't always informed as they should be, unfortunately. This is a list of all the student organizations currently enrolled at IU. Not a single one of these organizations has to do with fitness, and only one of them is nutrition related, and it's for dietetics majors only. According to the IU Student Organization website, you only need 1 leader and 5 IU students to start a new organization. So why have we not done this yet? The first thing I want to encourage you all to do today is to go ahead and help me start a club related to fitness and nutrition issues. We could share healthy recipes, go for walks, or organize events to teach other students about issues that are prevalent in today's society, or anything else we're interested in. I did put my email on the handout for you as well, so if you are interested, feel free to email me, or if you have any questions, you can as well. Now, if you don't want to take that big step to join the club, there are other things you can do. Almost all of us have smartphones now, so why not utilize the technology that's literally at our fingertips? One of my favorite apps is MyFitnessPal, and these are 2 screenshots from the MyFitnessPal iPhone app. You can use this app daily or every once in a while to track your fitness, weight progress, or anything nutrition related. They have a catalog of foods that includes popular restaurants and brand names of foods. And to show an example, I did a search for Panda Express and showed that all these lists came up with all the nutritional information and serving sizes. So it's really easy to see exactly what you're eating. We also need to talk about traditional methods such as eating healthy and staying active. In her article, Essential Freshman Fitness from Colleges and Careers magazine, Janet Worthington suggests that if you're going grocery shopping, start off by trying to buy all the ingredients for a well-balanced meal, including your lean proteins, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, everything. And if you live in a dorm and don't go grocery shopping a lot because you're on a meal plan, stock up on healthy snacks that you can keep in your dorm room so that you're not inclined to go out and buy junk food because it's easier and faster. She suggests low-fat pretzels or microwave soup. Some of my favorite healthy snacks are pretzel thins, naked popcorn, rice cakes, or low-fat Campbell's soups are really good too. It's also essential to stay active. I want to make a really clear distinguishing fact here that being active and exercising are 2 completely different things. Because I hear the excuse a lot, I don't like to work out, so that's why I don't do it. But as you can see, here's a list of really easy activities you can add into your daily lives that aren't necessarily the stigma of going to the gym and getting on the treadmill or going outside and going for a run. You can incorporate daily by planning your classes farther away so you have to walk more during the day, taking the stairs, taking a dance class, which IU makes really easy because they have electives that you can take for non-dance students, and while you're at home watching TV or studying, getting up once an hour to stretch. Because in a study about the time spent sitting in relation to mortality from 2010 by Alpa Patel from the American Cancer Society, men and women who spent the least leisure time sitting were leaner, more likely to never have smoked, more likely to be employed, and had a total lower energy intake. Time spent sitting in this study also was not associated with moderate to vigorous physical activity. So as you can see, it's more than just working out. So as you can see, incorporating healthy changes into your lifestyle is really easy. Becoming overweight and obese is an issue that can affect and change your entire life. I've spoken a lot today about different things regarding weight and health in college. First, I talked about rates of obesity and how they're rising in our age group. Then I talked about how developing unhealthy habits now can lead to unhealthy habits and chronic diseases for the rest of your life. And finally, I talked about easy steps you can take to lead towards a healthy lifestyle. So how bad really is this problem? According to an article from the National Institute of Health by Catherine Flegel from the American Journal of Public Health, obesity causes about 300,000 deaths per year in the U.S. and is second only to smoking as a preventable cause of death. So now it's up to each and every one of you to take the steps necessary to prevent yourself from becoming a part of the statistic or not.
So on that list of the organizations, it's like student organizations, but then I know there's like intramural sports and people who I don't know the different words.
Yeah.
And there's like a ton of different things you can get involved with in sports. Is that like not associated with that, and is that?
Yeah, that's a completely separate thing from the list of student organizations. So obviously there are the intramural sports and things that you can get involved in on campus or play sports. I did not include that in that list. That's just a list of organizations, and none of them talked about going for walks or doing anything fitness related. I searched through all of them and looked for keywords fitness and health, and nothing came up, like I said, except for the one for dietetics majors. So that's what I figured. And when I found out it was so easy, I decided that it would be pretty easy to start one. All right.
If I'm a college student, which I am, what's the best place to start in improving your health? Do you want to focus more on the nutrition, or do you want to focus more on the active lifestyle?
It really depends on what you personally are more interested in, and that's what I always tell people that I start working with, is that it's much more important to not try and tailor something to what you think is healthy, and start tailoring it to changes you want to make in your life. So if you know that you go out every day and eat McDonald's and you're sick of it, and you know it makes you feel like crap all the time, then you might want to start with your nutrition. But if you love playing sports and you know that incorporating activity is more easy into your daily life, then you might want to start trying to incorporate more activity as well. And there is a chart on the second page of your handout that I made for you guys that it's an activity tracker. So you can track what you're doing each hour of the day and figure out where you can add more activity into your life. And like I said, it can be as easy as like taking the stairs or parking farther away or, walking farther to classes or things like that. Lisa?
Do you have any ideas for a club? Like what kind of activities or like information? Like what kind of things would you?
I think it would be really interesting to share our favorite kinds of foods and stuff, because I think there's a really bad stigma about eating healthy. You're thinking about eating celery, or something really boring. And I personally love coming up and cooking with new healthy recipes and stuff, and also just being able to go out and be active, because I think a lot of times people are sitting at home and they're I don't want to go for a walk or I don't want to do something, so things we could do together or something of that regard. But I'm definitely looking for ideas as well.
Cool.
It's okay.